Hey, how's it going? What's up? Except for the ceiling, because I guess that's about the only thing that's up from me, but I mean, you know, I guess technically there's two stuffed animal wolves that are up from me, and they're both fucking adorable. I mean, there is that. Hey, Ellie. Hey, Michael. How are you guys doing? What's going on today? I'm gonna do this, something I should have done a while ago, push the pop out button. There we go, I did it. Now I have two chats open on my screen. So the chance of me missing something is now reduced in half, right? That's how that works, I think. I don't know. Well, let's go with that. Let's go with that. Whew! But yeah, no, how are you guys doing today? Get up to anything exciting or not particularly? Because fucking I did nothing. I worked. I worked life away. Slowly just felt it ebbing out of me. My soul. Slowly dying. But hey, what else is new, right? That happens every day. It's just to go on. You know, I never really took a minute to just listen to this music. This is really good music. I really like this music that's playing right now. That's really neat. I had never noticed before. Terrible! Oh no! Oh, okay, you're just boring life too. Okay, fair enough. Well, fuck. I guess I can't live vicariously through you. Shit. That was gonna be the plan, but the plan has failed, unfortunately. Oh, fuck is this? Jerry, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about with this. I will deal with that later. Okay. Okay, me. Deal with that shit later. Well, it was dark outside, and some random guy came and knocked on the door, and my brother woke my dad up, and my dad thought he said someone was in the house, so he grabbed the gun and went and saw the guy outside. The guy outside was like, yeah, I was looking for the guy. And then my dad closed the door on him, and the guy continued to walk out around out yard, then slowly drive away. Ellie, at least nobody got shot. That's where I'm going with that. Nobody got shot. Jesus Christ. Oh boy. Okay, well that's good then. That's good. I'm glad that nobody got shot, but interesting day. Interesting day, not gonna lie. Anyways, I suppose we should actually start playing this game rather than just sitting here shooting the shit. But at the same time, I also don't know if more people are gonna show up and want me to wait. So I don't fucking know. We'll just inspect things, I guess. Alright, let's see if anything happens when I turn you. Nope, nothing. Not even a drop. The pipe clogged? Probably doesn't work to begin with. Divider between stalls. I really don't want to think about what's over there. Well, that's where we came in. I guess it's not locked, but there ain't really any point. All it's out there is the numbered door. We can't go back through the numbered door, even if we wanted to. That's a good point. Us behind a gate, and a gate that you have to walk like 60 feet in order to get to our porch, so like, this was a bag, who knows what it was in, it could have been a weapon for all we know. Yeah, that That is kind of interesting. I'm not going to deny that. Okay, good. Michael's here. Hey, Joseph. I know, you forgot the question mark because we don't know for sure if 7 does equal 0. I mean, mathematically, no. But currently my suspicion is definitely on 0. I've got to say. Alright, we already know about that. An old message written in blood. It says LLR. Apparently, oh, there's the other L. Okay. What's that? Oh, that's the light switch. Okay, well, let's take a look around the room with the lights on first. Okay. A thick pipe that stretches across the floor. Junpei reached for the broom, and as he grabbed it, he heard a soft voice from behind him. It was June.
A rabbit hunch.
Huh?
He turned around. June still looked sadly pale, but there was a smile on her face.
Oh, you just reminded me of it. The rabbit hutch, I mean.
How did I remind you of something like that?
Jumpy and the broom. You were always playing around with the broom in front of the rabbit hutch.
I was?
Don't you remember?
Junpei stared at the broom in his hand.
You mean, you don't remember that summer either?
She looked very sad. He shook his head.
Of course I remember. How could I forget something like that? Or, just lie through my teeth very clearly. It was terrible.
They were in the 6th grade. Junpei and June had been assigned to take care of the classroom pets, the rabbits. Their chief duty was to clean the hutches every morning. On the final day of school before summer vacation began, Junpei overslept. He rushed to school and found June standing in front of the rabbit hutches. No sooner had Junpei arrived than June began to cry. He had no idea until he looked behind her into the rabbit hutch. The first thing he saw was blood. Wait, what? Okay, guys, how the fuck did you manage to fuck up and kill bunnies? Come on. The hutch was filled with the dead bodies of the rabbits. Even after their teachers and friends came to see what the commotion was, June couldn't stop crying.
I just kept crying and crying until you came over. You held my hand and you looked very serious when you said,
Don't.
Fuck, I can't do June imitating Junpei.
"Don't cry, I'm gonna catch the person who did this." After you told me that, I finally stopped crying.
Well, the real fun started after you quit crying. You told me we're gonna catch the killer together.
June smiled and a little of the flush of life returned to her cheeks.
Then we decided that we'd ambush them.
Yeah, I remember.
School also kept roosters and guinea pigs. Junpei and June had decided the murderer would likely return to finish off the rest of the animals. They would ambush the killer at night. Okay, this is a not good idea, guys. Junpei and June hid behind the hutch at the dusk and waited. It was a warm summer night. The quiet sound of crickets whispered through the air. As the sun went down, the stars began to wink at them from the sky. In June's, Akane Kuroshiki's face. That night was something Junpei knew he would never forget, as long as he lived.
But the murderer never showed up. We waited for them all summer vacation and they never showed up.
Yeah, but the animals didn't get attacked either. I think all that work amounted to something, you know?
He'd felt the same way, but it was good to hear her say it.
Although, if you think about it, we were probably taking on a lot more than we could handle.
Huh? What do you mean?
She looked up at him confused.
Well, come on. We were just kids. If we would ever kill the rabbits that actually showed up, they probably would have had a knife or something. I mean, you must have been pretty worried, right?
I wasn't worried. Because you were. 'cause you were there with me.
She blushed furiously.
You know, no one else wanted to take care of the animals.
Clearly embarrassed, she tried desperately to change the subject. Man, I am fucking stuttering up a storm today. LLR, losers lack raspberries, confirmed. Well, I don't have raspberries, confirmed. Briseus equals loser.
I was the only one who asked to do it at first.
Yeah, boys don't really want to bother with taking care of animals, you know?
Well, yeah, but you asked to do it after I did, didn't you?
If it wasn't the rabbits, they were gonna make me do something else, you know? How that school was. I figured it'd be better if I was working with somebody who wasn't too much of a loudmouth, right? Somebody who wasn't gonna tell on me if I felt like blowing it off.
Really? That's why you volunteered?
Yeah, it is.
He nodded quickly and much too earnestly, and then quickly looked away at something very important. That hadn't been the reason, of course. He'd asked to take care of the rabbits so that he could be near June. But it had been so long ago, he couldn't bring himself to tell her how he felt back then. It would be embarrassing. He took a quick breath to clear his head, tossed the broom up, and then snatched it out of the air.
Well, we don't really have time to be walking down memory lane like this, you know? We gotta figure out a way out of this room. Otherwise...
Yes.
June nodded curtly, then turned and walked away. And then walked over to Snake's dead corpse for some reason. Junpei turned around and looked at the room, at Snake's body. Chunks of flesh and organs still lay on the floor. The conversation he and June had been having scarcely fit their surroundings. But perhaps that was simple human nature. Hey, game. No, we died before we had the chance to see if Snake was in the box. Some bitch walked up and stabbed us in the back, unfortunately. Like, we didn't even make it back to the 9 room. We just went fucking we went looking for Clover and got stabbed by somebody. We're pretty sure Clover. But, yeah. Yeah, knife ending. He got dumped. But perhaps that was simple human nature. Despite such a situation, or perhaps because of it, the mind turned to the farthest thing from death that it could find. Still, Junpei couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt at wanting so desperately to live when Snake lay dead before him. It was definitely a floating knife. It just floated into my back. Really slowly. I'm just terrible and didn't notice. He had to live and not get the knife ending. He wanted a life again. A life with June in it. As he stared at the clumps of blackened flesh, all Junpei could think of was how much he wanted to live. Well, I have a broomstick. And a bucket. Well, Game, are you implying that I'm supposed to go clean up Snake off the floor? I really don't want to go clean Snake off the floor. Though apparently you can't legally marry a game character. No, but you could probably marry a cutout of a game character. You could try that. Is there anything in the toilet? What the fuck is that?
What do you think this is?
It looks like tar. Kinda sticky. I don't think we can just wipe it off. I doubt just pouring some water on it's gonna help much either.
What about hot water?
Hot water?
If we had some really hot water, like boiling hot, then maybe I would wash it off.
Good point. Snake in a bucket. Snake! Hey Apex, how's it going? And yeah, isn't it also... I remember reading that apparently a woman was, like, married to the Eiffel Tower. Or some shit like that. I don't know how the fuck that worked. Yeah, no, people Jesus Christ, people will fucking marry whatever. They're fucking crazy that way. What can we say? Alright, well, we don't need the toilet. Apparently a guy married an anime girl from a DS game. Let's see this. Tokyo man marries a video game character. Didn't you just say it was illegal to do this? Huh. Okay then. I thought about this and I think that Clover or Seven killed Junpei. Oh, not in Japan. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, no, I'm thinking it's Clover or Seven. I can agree with that because Clover's batshit crazy. We know Clover's batshit crazy. But the thing with Seven, if you could tell by the title, is Seven is my prime suspect for being Zero right now. He's lost his memory, so he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. If he was Zero and wanted to play the game, sure, get rid of your memory. You'd be able to play it without knowing the solution to anything. Done. Right? Seven also pointed out what kind of ship we might be on. So he had some knowledge about that, and everyone's like, well, where the fuck did that come from? Right? Fuck, what was the last reason, too? I had one other reason why it could be Seven, but I can't remember anymore. There's some toilet paper on this shelf. Okay, is there anything in here?
It's a water tank for a toilet.
I've seen a lot of guys... Wait, what? I've seen a lot of OC guys try and hide in peace in something like this. Usually for 187 or something. Yes, they think it's clever. Dunno when they'll figure out. Everybody else thinks it's clever too.
What? I mean, I know peace, but what's OC?
Organized crime.
What is that? Some kind of police slang?
Huh? Probably. Huh? What did I say? Why does he look all sad now?
That's not really important right now, guys. Let's just check it out, alright?
Well, he's not wasting any time. Well, there's a screwdriver, so I'll take that. Clover might have done it out of revenge, blaming Junpei, Lotus, etc. for the death of her brother. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a ton of fucking sense. Toilet stank. There's nothing in it. Which means we can't flush it. And hard to flush a toilet without water. Seven might be an undercover cop. I have a hard time imagining that Zero would want to involve the police in this, though. I have a really hard time imagining that. Clover really doesn't go that crazy until Snake goes missing, which you can't blame her too much. Well, yeah, I mean, we can't blame the fact that Snake's missing, or like, we can't blame the fact that she goes crazy because of that or anything. But Snake goes missing and dies pretty quickly, like right off the bat. So, I mean, to be fair, it can be said that she's basically batshit crazy the entire time. A wooden box. There's something in here. What is this?
What the hell is this thing? Some kind of spray bottle? Something written on it. Zoom in. Can't read anything else. The label's all faded.
Let me see that. Just grabbed it from him. Very nice. Oh, this is luminol. You know, forensic guys use it at crime scenes. Holy shit, Seven might actually be an undercover part. Well, Apex. There you go.
Oh yeah, that stuff that glows blue when you spray it on blood. Even if the blood's been wiped off, it'll still glow.
Okay. Take the toilet paper. Why is this bloody? Wait, what?
It's toilet paper with some kind of red symbols on it.
The organized crime, and he could have been tracking the ship. Maybe Zero did it hoping he would die. I guess. That is possible. You think maybe that's a scythe-tail cipher?
Knife-tail cipher. What the hell is that?
You wrap a piece of paper around a stick and then write several sentences on it so that the whole paper's filled up. Then you unwrap the paper and you can't tell what the original message was, right? That's how it works, more or less. Then, to decipher it, you gotta have a stick that's the same diameter as the original one.
Same diameter as the original one. Huh.
Yeah. Then you just wrap the paper around that stick and you can read the code. Broomstick.
What if I wrap the toilet paper around the broom?
Yeah, saw that coming. Set up the game for no one to die though, plus he's pretty big. Yeah. Toilet paper plus scourge. Nah, dude, broomstick.
Oh, so you wrap the toilet paper around the broom, huh? Looks like the symbols line up perfectly. It says 634 plus.
Okay, so maybe there's more toilet paper that I need? Stack of toilet paper. Okay. Dividing wall that separates the toilets. Okay, give me the toilet paper. Give me the paper. Fucking hell, okay. There might be something in the tank, you know? Let's open that shit up. A red key card, okay. Fair enough. June 6, Santa 3, Clover 4. Yes. Toilet is 0. Just like, haha, you will never find me. Literally just like fucking pranked ya, bro. Oh god. Okay, what's over here? Give me that. Huh? Looks like there's something down there on that grate. I think it's a card. Yeah, it's the blue card. Can't reach it though. It's too deep. Fuck. What's in here? There's a piece of paper tied to this pipe with a wire. Shit in it, detonate bomb, problem solved. But it's still in our small intestine. We can't shit it out yet. Notice, drainage valve operation. Please do not flush the water in these pipes. Doing so may cause the drain to overflow. So, flush the water in the pipes. Okay, I don't know that. There's water coming out of the shower head. Let's see if...
Shit, that's hot!
Really hot. And that water must just be about boiling. Well, that surprisingly works out well. Maybe I can use the shower here to fill the bucket with hot water.
Hey, Seven, could you turn on the shower? I'm gonna put the bucket under the head.
Ah, okay. Sure thing. Bucket filled with hot water. And we wash off this now. Something looks like tar inside the toilet bowl.
If I flush the hot water from the bucket, that should clean it up.
Oh, wait. Okay, I have pushed the wrong part of the screen again. That's okay. We have to pillar here, right?
Alright, so I just pour the hot water into this tank and...
Time to make coffee? What, with the hot water or what? Flips into boiling water and burns to death. Michael, it is a bucket. You will be fine. Looks like you filled it. Now you should be able to flush it, right? There's probably a handle somewhere on the tank that you can pull.
You think so?
Serious? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pipes. connected to the tank on the toilet. Where do I pull it? There's some toilet paper on the shelf. Damn, I almost forgot. Hey, Jesus, how's it going? Just excited to be here. Oh. Thanks, man. How's it going? What's up? And what the fuck do I do now to flush this goddamn toilet? Do I flush it from a different toilet? Is that how I do this? Okay, you know what? Actually, I haven't checked this part of the room. Is there anything over here? Nope. Okay. Is there a bar? Is there a light? There's a clock. Never mind. It's a thermometer.
Can you get it off?
No, it's screwed onto the wall.
Waterboard snake's corpse. You know, we'd have to clean him up and put him in the bucket before we could do that, I think. Unscrew this bitch. The thermometer was screwed onto the wall. That meant that Junpei needed to take the screws out with the screwdriver. While he was so engaged, Santa suddenly spoke.
Hey, Junpei, you know why thermometers only go up to 170 degrees Fahrenheit or 75 degrees Celsius like this one?
Junpei answered without taking his eyes off the screw.
No, can't say I ever thought about that. At 107 degrees, the cells in the human body start to die, and the organs begin to shut down. The proteins in your cells start to harden. Like when you hard-boil an egg. Even if you cool it down afterwards, it won't go back to being a raw egg. In other words, it's dead.
Well, Santa, to be fair, I'm pretty sure we have the technology to unscramble eggs now. Or uncook eggs or something like that, so... yeah. Ball's in your court, buddy.
That's why thermometers don't go past 107. There's no point.
Why had Santa brought that up? Junpei wondered.
Oh yeah?
He continued to work at the screw.
But it's pretty rare for a fever to get that high. Even viruses and stuff don't usually drive the body temperature to 107. Of course, there are other external things that could. Like what? Well, let's see. Something like getting locked in a sauna.
Yeah, you would die. By your bucket of snake just... Fucking hell. Egg cook is a chemical reaction. Don't we? I thought I remember seeing something on interwebs about being able to, like, it was like... Fuck, what was it? Something to do with unscrambling an egg. Honestly, I can't remember that well, but I could swear I remember seeing something like that.
Or getting thrown into an incinerator and burnt to death. Yeah, I guess that would get a little hotter than 107 degrees Fahrenheit.
Junpei gave a short, barking laugh. A moment later, the screw fell off. Honestly, Apex, it was a long time ago. I can't fucking remember. With a small tug, Junpei pulled the thermometer from the wall.
Alright, I got it.
Santa is not happy. He looked up and saw Santa glaring at the back blank section of wall.
Huh? What's up?
Nothing. Forget about it. Santa spun around and walked off, away from Junpei. Definitely possible, just difficult. The atoms. Well, to be fair, you're unscrambling an egg. The best way to unscramble an egg is just not scramble it in the first place. Probably just fucking takes a lot more work than it's worth. Santa spun around and walked off, away from Junpei. But as Junpei watched him go, he definitely noticed that sweet, sexy bottom, and he didn't look angry. He looked very, very sad.
Oh, you took the thermometer off. It says open at the bottom of the gauge. Wonder what it means.
Maybe when it gets that hot, something will open.
Before Santa's sister died to a sauna accident. Jesus.
Yeah, if I can get this hot water on the thermometer, then maybe.
Alright, thermometer, let's get this party started. It's getting hot in here. Thermometer, open up. Yep, looks like that's doing the trick. Here goes the gauge. And now it's at the open mark.
Huh? Huh, it opened.
What's this? Looks like there's a piece of paper in here. Well, fuck. Okay. How do I flush you, toilet?
Alright, let's flush the hot water.
Okay, it was that simple. Well, there it goes, just like a toilet should work. Okay. Well, that stuff's washed off. Looks like that writing was numbers. See it?
I need 5 equals. What is this?
You got me. Just looks like numbers. What more mess? I've had enough of you for today. It's okay. We'll survive the math. In-game calculator. Fuck that. Do the math in your head. We smart people here. We can do it. Okay. We have this, though. We still haven't figured out what's up with this, though. LLR. We still haven't figured that out either. I wonder something. We can turn off the light. Okay, never mind. Wait. Oh! White. You don't really think we're supposed to use the luminol here, do you?
Yeah, it does seem kind of weird to use it here, but maybe I should try it just in case.
LLR, LRL. Just like you thought, Junpei. There's some more letters showing up after the LLR. See?
It says LLR LRL.
Fuck 7, no one asked you to think. Jesus. Let 7 think. 7's not that bad unless it turns out he's 0, in which case, fuck 7. Right now, we're not sure. Left and right? It doesn't necessarily have to be left and right, though. Because there's something... The placement of the letters, too, is odd to me. Why is this L down here when these ones are all up top and these are all down here? There's a little slot here for swiping a card. Oh, okay, well I can at least do that.
The red light's on, Jumpy.
Okay, so now we just need the code. That's a... okay. Seven is undercover cop. That's my theory and I'm sticking to it. No, fucking go right ahead. Honestly, though, he could be undercover cop 0. I do think he has something to do with cops, though. He definitely seems to be someone who knows about that shit. Okay. I feel like we have to be one clue short. Actually, we haven't done anything with this yet. We haven't done anything with this. Time to add noobers. The fuck are noobers? Can't put any water through the pipe on the right, though. If you do that, it'll start overflowing from the drain. Wait, but we want it doing that. Left and right for those. Oh my god, you're so right. Left. Left. Right. Left. Right. Left. Okay. Good call, Michael. I totally would have missed that. Well, I did what it said on the wall. Wonder if it actually did anything.
Hey, this drain's acting up. What the hell did you do? I just messed with the valves a little. Nothing big.
Give me that. There must be water flowing through the pipe on the right. Water pouring out of the drain. Give me that card. Okay. Okay, this is 4 digits. We need 4 digits there. I think we've got almost everything, though. We've got 3 sets of numbers, right? Because we've got the 185 equals. We've got what it says on the broom. Then we got that. But I still feel like we're missing something. Maybe there's something on the back? No. Broomstick? No. Card key? Nope. Nope. Fuck me. Okay. Can I... Dirt we flushed out is settled to the bottom of the bowl. There's 185 equals on the inside of the toilet bowl. Huh. Dude, Apex, go fuck yourself. Wait, what? Jesus, it's okay. I don't think anyone here has actually seen this before, to be honest with you. Shelf. Nothing on it. Light bulb provides light for this room. Okay. Wait, can I just... Okay, no, that brings me there. What can I...
I already checked all 3 toilets, you know. Nothing unusual there.
Okay. Fuck me. I'm not sure where to go with this. There's something in Snake's dead body. Snake! Chunks of pinkish meat are splattered across the floor. Snake, why did this happen to you? Damn, I just can't. Okay. Well, that seeing what happened to Snake is not an option. Just add the numbers and enter it. Well, I mean, I could, but I only have 3 sets of numbers is the thing. Right? This requires 4. I mean, I can do it, I guess, but... 9, 5, and 7. Also, this is definitely gonna be digital roots, man. There's no way that it's not digital root. Fucking 9, 5, 7 is 20. That's 2. So 2 is one of them, I guess. 6, 3, 4. 9, 13. 4-digit number when it's added. You mean adding, instead of finding the digital root, you mean adding 634 and 957? That's true. But then what would the equals 185 mean? Fuck it, I can try it, I guess. 957, that is... Or 961, 991, 1591 should be what it is. Nothing happens when I press the buttons. I just have to get the red and blue lights to turn on. Oh.
Great job, Jumpy. All the lights are on now. Now you just need to put in the password.
Okay. Both lights are on. We should be able to enter the password now.
What's with these E and C keys?
E means enter and C means clear, I think. Oh, after you put in the password, hit E. Screw it up. Hit C. Okay, let me do this. I guess this is a spoiler playthrough. If fuck I left, why did Green tell me to go fuck myself? It's not a spoiler playthrough. Yeah, we haven't been spoiled on anything. Saying Seven's an undercover cop and that's his theory, that's not a spoiler, that's a theory. Fuck. Okay, it's not that then. Okay, well, we don't know what that is then. Yeah, none of us have played this, man. It's all good. It's all good up here in this shower hood because it's a shower. I'm not funny. I was thought about playing it in my mind. Does that count? I don't think so. Add all three. Okay, I guess I can try adding all three. Although I'm lazy and not doing it in my head again, so let's pull up the calculator. 634 plus 185 plus... fuck, what was the last number? 957. The answer is fish. Afraid not. I do not see any way of inputting fish into this. Oh. Well, Michael, you were right. On miss a bit of stream, pro got Doritos. Apex, Doritos is always worth missing stream. Always. Always worth it. Anyways, fucking good job, Michael. You did it. Two additional signs, so that's what I originally meant. Okay. Oh, no. That makes sense because the way that I had it in my mind was 185 equals. For some reason, I didn't think that would be at the end of the equation, and I kept thinking in my head that it's at the start of the equation. So I'm just like, well, that doesn't make sense for some reason. I hate it when your brain just like says, fuck you. That's literally what just happened. Okay, well, I think I earned a stretch after that one. Alright. Outside of the shower room was a hallway that extended off to the left and right. At the right end was a large iron door. They'd moved a few steps toward the door when Junpei heard the sound of metal on metal. They turned around. Seven was doing something to the door of the shower room.
What are you doing, Seven?
Well, I figured maybe we might want to come back here sometime. So I stuck the broom in there to keep the door from shutting. Alright, let's go. With that, he stood up and began walking down the hallway. Need to update your brain with the latest version of Windows. How would one do that? I do not have a cable to stab into the back of my head. Second pro missed Bryce being a dumbass, letting me keep a jaded opinion of him. Oh, okay. Wait, jaded? Doesn't jaded usually mean bad? Okay, I don't know. Use Wi-Fi. Ellie, I'm not a millennial. I ain't born with Wi-Fi in my veins. I wouldn't exactly call Windows 10 an improvement. Okay, to be fair, it's better than Windows 9. After a moment, the rest of them followed him. Before long, they found themselves at the large iron door. They had only been there for a moment when June spoke up.
Jumpy, look.
He turned. There, on the right side of the hallway, was a piece of paper attached to the wall. Junpei ran over and peeled it off. It was a map that told us we went in a circle.
It's a map of the ship's interiors.
The Seven must be keeping doors open so he can come back for evidence later. I mean, maybe. I honestly don't know what his reasoning behind that is now. Besides the fact that I would think it's just handy in case we miss something. I understand what you mean, 98. Better than Windows NT and Windows Me. Fucking Jesus, I don't know those either. What the fuck are those? The fuck is Windows CE? And yeah, there was surprisingly a Windows 9, although most people I think just didn't go with that one. He said C deck on the upper left corner. Oh, Millennial Edition, I see. Wait, fucking that's not 2000 then, right? Or is it? Was not well received. Oh. Well, at least nobody killed Bill Gates over it. From what they could tell, it was a map of the floor they were on. 2000 was good. Okay. I hear millennial. That makes me think 2000. And yeah, no, I remember having no problems with 2000. Or XP. XP was also nice. There'd be time to look at it later. Junpei folded the map and stuffed it into his pocket. Bill Gates is a good guy. He is. Windows 2000 was not Windows Millennial. Okay, fair enough. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. Friggin' I know not a lot about older tech. I also know not a lot about newer tech. I'm mostly just the dumbass. Back at the door, the four of them lined up in front of it. Santa stepped forward. He grabbed hold of the door and then turned to look back at the rest of them.
Ready? Gonna open it.
They nodded. Santa nodded back and threw the door open. And then Lotus was waiting there, ready to stab them in the face. All four of them leapt through. It took only a moment for them to realize where they were. They had been there only a short time ago. It was a large hospital room filled with countless beds. Where's Lotus ready to kill us? Lotus and Clover looked up as they entered. Ace was there as well, although he looked as though he had only just woken up. The moment they spotted Junpei, Lotus and Clover headed straight for him. As she neared him, Lotus drew back her hand and bitch smacked him across the face, open palmed. How could you do this to us? Her face was furious. She grabbed Junpei by the collar and shook him violently. Clover didn't touch him, but the hate in her eyes was no less potent. It was Seven who stopped them. Knock it off. We've got bigger shit to worry about right now. His deep voice echoed across the massive room. The computer in the closet with Vista Gigagram. Good luck with that, Ellie. I don't think that will go as you plan it. Problem with Doritos, it's hard to hear through headphones while eating them. Crank the volume! Lotus glared at Seven, but let Junpei go after one last vicious shake. What? Go have a look. I stuck the screwdriver in the door. That door over there, the one without a number. As long as the screwdriver's there, it can't shut, so you can get in there. Seven also explained how they might find the shower room, how he'd use the broom to ensure that the door remained open as well. Then you're saying we can go in there without passing through the numbered door? Yeah, that's about the size of it. What the hell is in there? You'll know when you see it. Lotus and Clover looked at one another for a moment, then nodded and stepped through the door. Why are you letting Clover go to see this? It's literally her exploded brother. Fucking hell, man. By then, Ace had made his way to them, moving with the stiff, shuffling steps of someone who is only just awoken from a lengthy slumber. My goodness. I know I said I was sure he'd come back for me. Didn't think it would happen so soon, though. Ace shook his head weakly. Should I go as well? Seven nodded. Very well. Ace followed Lotus and Clover with a stiff, tired gait. The squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. Sounded like the noise. Wait, we've done this. Okay, yeah, this is all dialogue that we've read before. Okay. Well, we can go ahead and skip all over this. But at this point, that's means was Zero still on the ship with them? Okay, last time we said that Zero wasn't on the ship. Should we say that Zero is on the ship this time, guys? Personally, I think we should. I don't see any problem to saying that because I'm starting to think that Mr. Seven, despite being undercover cop, is also Zero. Or some shit like that. Nope, sure. Okay, 1 and 1. Need a deciding vote, people. Need the deciding vote. I really need to stop and listen to the music more. It's so nice. Okay? Okay. Well, of course then. Of course he was. That was obvious. Zero was somewhere on the ship, but I had no idea where. I mumbled to himself, lost in thought.
Where could Zero be hiding?
Suddenly, everyone went very quiet. And then we're back to this. Okay, well, it is possible that Zero is one of them. But the whole point of this dialogue box was not suspecting people, so we could also just say that's crazy. For this run. It might be a better idea to just not cast suspicion on people. Because if we don't cast suspicion on the murderer, then the murderer is going to be just like, oh, okay, I don't need to kill people right now. It's all good, kind of deal. That's what I'm thinking, at least. It's crazy? Okay, it's crazy.
That's crazy. Isn't the ship going to sink in a few hours? Zero wasn't here with us. He'd be putting himself in danger. Why the hell would he do something like that? There's no motive.
Clover looked up in Junpei, and her face fell. Because the girl with this pink hair that's not a natural hair color must be... red, man! Or from going apeshit as she blames Zero for Snake's death. That's actually a good point, Apex. That's actually a good point. She could just kill indiscriminately until she's just like,
Yeah, now I've killed you, Zero. Loser.
kind of deal.
You don't believe me.
Shit. Her eyes were so pitiful. The moment Junpei's met them, he felt his heart tighten. He didn't think what he said was wrong. But perhaps the way he said it had been. He'd been too insensitive. Clover had just lost her brother. His death would have been bad enough, but she'd also seen the blasted wreck of his body. I barely knew him, and the sight had been enough to make him sick. What Clover had felt, he couldn't begin to imagine. In the mental state she must have been in, it was understandable that she would look at all those around her with suspicion. She felt everyone was against her. The least Junpei could have done was try to understand what she was feeling. He felt ashamed of what he'd said. Perhaps he thought, I should apologize. But before that apology could begin... Clover, I understand what you're feeling. You don't feel that you can trust any of us. Ace had beaten Junpei to the punch. As he spoke to Clover, his face was calm and friendly. But you have to understand, the more we distrust one another, the further we fall into our true foe's trap. Zero was the one who did those horrible things to your brother. Do you want to let yourself be manipulated by someone who would do such a horrible thing? Clover didn't answer. Didn't even look at Ace. The whole time her eyes were on Junpei. You could feel Clover's eyes boring into him. They were the color of a deep winter lake. Junpei saw no suspicion in them, only sadness. Then, in that horrible silence, they heard a bell begin to ring. It was the clock at the central staircase.
3 in the morning.
That means we have 3 hours left. Then we need to move now. Wait, have we? Okay. 7, Clover. I know how you feel, but do you understand that, right now, it's important we trust one another, don't you? 7 and Clover remained silent. Their eyes were looking at something somewhere else, very far away. We must go. We have very little time left. Ace's words put their feet to moving. They all knew where they were going. Their next destination was Mercury. They stood in front of the elevators next to the stairs that led to the casino and the kitchen. Between the 2 elevators was a card reader with the Mercury symbol engraved on it. I stood in front of it with the Mercury keycard. He found the card while investigating the shower room. Wait. I just realized. Didn't we do the boiler room and then after the boiler room find the 9 doors? So if we go straight to the boiler room, we should be okay, right? Don't let her through door 6 or she'll get a loaded gun. Yeah. Agreed with that. Took a deep breath and slid the card through the reader. It made a small beep. The lights on the reader blinked to life. Now, they were ready. 7 people, including Junpei, climbed onto the elevator. There were only 2 floor buttons they could push. The C and bottom buttons. The rest were destroyed or did nothing when pushed. Junpei hit the bottom button. The door closed. Slowly, they began to move downward. Sometime later, all 7 of them stepped off the elevator and onto the bottom deck. They stepped off and saw that the hallway to their right ended somewhere between 20 and 25 feet from them. The hallway in front of them was a dead end, but not a regular dead end.
This is a numbered door.
Yeah. It's door 2.
Immediately, they began to discuss who would go through it. Their earlier experiences had shown them that they would meet again regardless of which numbered doors they took. As a result, there were no arguments this time. Instead, they concerned themselves with who would be sent in to investigate what was beyond the door. Also, door 2 may have a knife in it. That could be how Killer Clover 7 got to kill Junpei with it. Wait, but was door 2 the one that she went through last time? I don't remember. Because that doesn't make sense. Like, I'm not expecting them to put a gun in one room and not some other kind of killing weapon in a different room. That'd be stupid. You're leaving them a loaded gun. You're leaving them other weapons too. You obviously want a bloodbath. The first to volunteer was 7. Junpei followed suit, which meant Lotus was by default the 3rd member.
Alright, we're taking off.
Okay. Please be careful.
Jesus, you 2 are acting like you're married, you know that? Jun blushed. So did Junpei. Perhaps in an attempt to hide his emotions, he quickly found a way to pull the lever on the red. 7, just let us be our happy couple. And also let's hope that everyone else goes back to a different door. The door opened. As they'd come to expect, there appeared to be a short hallway on the other side. Alright, let's go. Lotus was the first through the door. Seven was next, and Junpei brought up the rear. Clover also ran through the door, trying to suicide bomb everyone else, but fortunately it only took them moments to find the dead. It had been placed just inside the room, right next to the numbered door. They gathered around it and quickly scanned each of their bracelets. Oh,
Stopped.
yeah, stopped. I could feel his heart pounding against the inside of his ribs. Seven and Lotus were breathing hard and fast. It was the third time they'd been through the process, but they had yet to grow accustomed to it. Not that Junpei wanted to. He planned to finish the game before he got a chance to let imminent death become commonplace. Junpei looked around again. It was a short hallway with 5 doors along the walls. There were 3 doors along the left wall, and a single one on the right. At the end of the hallway, the 5th door was covered by a thick metal plate. Junpei didn't think they'd be able to open it. After taking a look around the room himself, Seven spoke.
Alright, let's get started. I think we'd probably better split up. You two okay with that?
Yes, no problem.
Sure thing.
Seven nodded to them and stepped into the room closest to him. Those are the words. Lotus looked at the doors for a moment, and then headed for the one in the center. At last, Junpei was left alone.
Well, I guess I better get started too.
He looked intently at the remaining 3 doors. Enter the room and see another slot machine puzzle. Please no. Please no. Not a slot machine.
Huh? What the hell? Not open. There's something up with this drawer. I don't trust it.
Well, since it requires a screwdriver.
This chair's pretty old. If Seven sat on it, it'd probably break.
Huh? You'll say something?
Nothing at all.
Junpei, you dick.
Man, this is a mess. It's not even a bed anymore.
Can't say I'd want to sleep there. Trust no drawer. Trust no drawer until we have a screwdriver. Although I guess it could still be a bomb, so probably fucked. There's a dirty blanket on the bed. Move the dirty blanket. Okay.
A toilet paper tube, huh? I seriously doubt I'm gonna need this for anything. Well, this part is thinner than the rest. In fact, this doesn't really look like it's part of the rest of this thing.
This rod feels loose. Maybe if I give it a couple turns. Here we go. Screwdriver shaft. That works. Toilet. Oh, what? Praise the sun, everybody. Seven could just sit on the desk. That would get it open. Jesus. Build a wall around all the Okay, Trump. I didn't know you were here. A symbol on the toilet lid, huh? Seems a little fishy to me.
It's a sun symbol, but it doesn't look like the ones on the doors.
But I want moon version. Agreed. Fucking moon version's awesome. Damn, this toilet's pretty nasty to begin with, but the inside's even worse.
Honestly, I'm amazed you could bring yourself to touch it.
Ah, there's way nastier stuff out there in the world than a gross toilet.
You're a real deep thinker, aren't you? Hey, this handle's pretty loose.
Loose. You think it'll come off if you pull on it? Yes. It fell off. Huh. Look at this. The handle doesn't really fit on the string. Maybe it was meant to be attached to it. If this works, I'm gonna be a little upset.
So if I just stick this metal rod onto the handle,
You're telling me you couldn't just use the screwdriver shaft without...
you wouldn't need the handle, man.
You got the shaft. The shaft is all you need, come on. Like dead bodies. Alright, well, let's go deal with fucking that thing.
This looks like a toilet.
Pretty old school toilet. Guess that makes sense, though. The ship seems pretty old, too. Drawer.
Sweet, got the screws off.
Now we can open the drawer. And die.
There's nothing in here.
Well, maybe the drawer's what we need.
The drawer. Huh.
Alright, let's yank the thing out. Well, I have a desk drawer now. Shaft is all you need. Exactly. Joseph, come on. If that's not a line that was intentionally said to sound gay, I don't know what is. Have you seen an outhouse? I have seen an outhouse. I've used outhouses many, many times. They're disgusting. I need to take out the drawer out of the desk. Okay. I didn't really check this. What the hell's this supposed to be? Like a drawing of a whirlpool or something.
Well, if I had to guess, I'd say it's trying to look like water.
There's a little towel in the drain.
Doesn't look like we're going to be able to pull it out of there.
Might have to use our heads on this one. Alright, let's figure this thing out. Huh, looks like the water doesn't work. No matter how much 7 turns that thing, no water's coming out. Water been shut off from somewhere else? Okay, so I need to come back here and use water. Or fill the desk drawer with water, or some shit like that. Somebody made some wavy blue lines on this mirror with blue paint. Is that a drawing of a blue scarf? No, maybe not.
This drain is kind of a weird shape for a drain. You think they made it that shape for a reason? Or just for fun? There's no knob on this faucet. No way we can get water out of it like this.
If we can find a knob, or something that'll work as one, then we should be able to get water to come out of this thing.
Okay, so water works in this one. A towel. Can't say I was expecting that.
Well, it looks like a towel. I have to wonder if the design means anything, though. Maybe you should consider that the design might be, perhaps. That'll give us a hint.
Well, I mean, it's the fucking... Oh, I see. Notice just because you got stabbed doesn't mean I trust you, bitch. I don't think she stabbed herself. So, granted, Lotus is definitely in this for herself, but I think she's more trustworthy than some other girls on this boat.
This paper seems to be pretty old.
Ew. How the hell can you touch that? It's horrible.
Well, it's not like I've really got a choice, do I? Not like I want to. It's just hanging from the wall.
Well, if we're pulling the string, it must be a toilet that flushes. A moon. What a filthy, disgusting moon.
Yeah, it's pretty filthy, but it's a precarious hint. Just remember it, alright?
Apex, there's your Pokemon Moon version, right in the toilet waiting for ya.
This toilet is disgusting. You don't expect me to touch that thing, do you?
If you don't want to, then I'll do it, alright?
Alright, so I need to go find a knob.
There's nothing in the drawer.
Yeah. Something's not right, though. That handle in that drawer doesn't really fit, you know? It just looks messy.
Why don't you take it out?
Okay, so apparently I have to go get all of the drawers in all 3 rooms now. I guess that's what life is now. It says emergency. There's a bunch of tiles on the door that spell out emergency.
Emergency. Maybe it means we need to emerge out of here.
Or we need that other tile. Probably. I don't know how the fuck that works.
There's a door in the back. I wonder where it goes.
I thought of that, and I tried a couple things, but yeah, same result. Guess 7 wasn't about to do anything. Oh well. That door. Oh, this is dark and spoopy. I don't like it. Give me that. Ah! God damn it, no matter how hard I pull on this damn thing, it won't budge.
Guess I won't be opening this anytime soon.
Looks like it's got a keyhole, and there doesn't seem to be anything stopping it. How the hell am I supposed to open it? With acid. This mirror seems really high. In fact, it's so high it's kind of hard to see a reflection in it. Well, fuck you too, game. Sink, but there's no light shining on it.
It's hard to be sure because it's so dark here, but I don't think there's anything going on with this sink. This faucet is too hard to turn.
Junpei, you're just not trying hard enough to turn it on. 14 equals E.
What's this? 14 equals E.
Probably means a 14 somewhere represents an E, but I don't know what 14 that would be. I can just barely make out the string for the toilet, but I can get a hold of it.
Damn it. Kinda pisses me off that I can see it, but I can't touch it.
What?
Toilet paper. It's still white enough for me to know what it is, even in the dark. Nothing out of the ordinary about it.
Looks like a dirty toilet, but it's too dark to tell. I can just barely see a mirror from the light coming through the ceiling.
Sure would be nice if that mirror was a little lower down. Looks like it's the same height as the mirror on the right. Wonder if that means anything.
That probably does now I think about it. You missed investigation, Apex. Also, hey Texas, how's it going, man? I know this game has also been so much fun to play. So far, we're doing our second run through. First time we did a run through and we got the knife ending. Only played the VN version on iPhone, but I enjoyed it. Still, definitely seems like a great game. Or doesn't seem like one. It is a great game. What can I say? Blanket, not really a great one, but still. There's barely enough to see by. I feel like I'm gonna see a ghost here or something. Okay, well then light.
Oh yeah, we can probably use the mirror to reflect the light.
I just gotta figure out where to reflect the light. If I go somewhere that's a little easier to shine light on. So if I shine this light on the mirror in the back,
I get it.
Briseus, what do I have to do to get mod? Not be a shithead. Be chill. Not ask for it. And I guess there actually be a need for one. Because as it stands now, there's no need for mod. Have gave up on VLR, was looking up every puzzle and just got bored of doing that, only want the story. Oh, I see. I don't know, honestly, I really do like the puzzles of this, though. They're quite engaging.
I get it. If I shine light on a mirror, a symbol appears.
Left one has a sun, and the right one's got a moon symbol.
I'm gonna remember this.
When I shine light on the mirror in the back,
Is that a number? So if I shine light on this mirror, then I get to see some numbers.
you're mean. Joseph, I am one of the largest assholes you will ever meet in life. How's it going? A wild KHRP. Wait, Kingdom Hearts RP? What? See a 4 on the left and a 7 on the right.
4 and 7.
Satan is not that bad. I am Satan, Kip. I am evil and will eat souls. Okay then, well, there's a sun and moon here. Pokemon Sun and Moon confirmed. That already is, and there's a 4 and 7 on that one. So I don't see what I'm supposed to make of those yet. Can I do anything with my items?
If I use a screwdriver on the screw in the center of the handle, maybe I can.
Okay, we got the knob, we got the drawer without the handle, and the desk drawer. Kingdom Hearts RP is equal to Carp, which is equal to Magikarp. I did not know Sora got kinky with Magikarp. Consider this friendship over, storms out. Joseph, no! I'm so sad now. Joseph died. Because there was a storm outside that he walked into. Is a reference to something. Oh. Okay, I know not that reference. I'm sorry, Apex. I am but a fool. Bit of a stretch. Okay, let's fucking get this knob on here. Sweet, the handle I got off that drawer fits under the faucet perfectly.
Now I can turn the water on.
Do it.
Junpei, what are you doing?
Pretty obvious, isn't it? I'm running the water.
I can see that. I'm asking you why you're just letting it run like that.
Think about it, Lotus. This faucet didn't have a knob when we found it, right?
What do you mean?
Just watch.
Any time now.
Hey, water's filling up. Doesn't that just mean the pipes are clogged?
Whoops, let's turn it off for now.
So, did anything change?
The water stopped flowing.
Thank you, Mr. Obvious. Junpei, I'm leaving this one to you, alright?
Sink is totally filled with water. Scoop the water out. Sink is totally filled with water. I can't scoop the water out. Fuck. Here is Tits McGee. Oh, you mean Lotus. Okay. It took me a minute to realize who you're referring to. Yes, that is correct. Place must be warm. What, the water? I'm not sure. I mean, I don't see any reason for it to not be. Also, why can't I see my reflection in this mirror? Oh my god, guys, I'm a vampire! Does this do anything over here yet? Yep, like I thought. Okay, give me that tile. Tile has nothing on it. Shit. Junpei put the wet tile into his pocket. About to turn away when there was a noise behind him. He spun around to see Seven kneeling on the floor. Face was rigid and pale. Droplets of sweat covered his forehead.
Hey, what's going on? You okay, man?
He was concerned. He'd never seen Seven like this before. Slowly, the other man lifted himself to his feet on shaky legs. Yeah, I'm fine. I just got a little dizzy, that's all. His face was pale and his breathing was heavy. Sweat was pouring off his face and staining his shirt. He was many things, but fine was not one of them.
Are you sure? You don't look so good.
Seven didn't answer. Half of his face was twisted as if distorted by extreme pain, and his eyes were glazed. Finally, he spoke.
What am what am I doing here? Huh?
Words made no sense.
What are you talking about? We opened the number 2 door and walked in here. Don't tell me you forgot.
No, that's not what I meant. He shook his head several times as if it was trying to clear something from it. It ain't much, but I think some of my memories came back. I, 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 I think I've been here before.
Oh, what? 0? Huh?
I said I've been in this room before.
You were here? When? Why? Owie. Light. Ona.
Suddenly, Seven was mumbling to himself. They were words Junpei didn't understand. Seven's hoarse voice trailed off, and Junpei couldn't make out what he'd said.
What the hell was that?
Seven's brow furrowed furiously, and he ground his teeth back and forth. It's right there. I feel like I'm this close to remembering everything, but I just can't. Seven stopped, frustrated. He pulled his hat off and ran a hand through his hair. Then, suddenly, he looked up, his eyes wide. That's right. An experiment. There was some kind of an experiment going on the ship.
An experiment? What sort of experiment?
They were trying to control people. Or something like that. Junpei didn't know what to make of Seven's story. Instead, he simply stared as Seven continued. Seven must have been in the first nonary game. I never considered there could have been multiple nonary games. Shit. Oi, Light, and Nona. Those were their names. Well, some of them. The kids that were there. In the experiment, I mean. I think there were 4 or 5 more, but I don't remember all their names. Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm here. Seven began to mumble to himself and wander aimlessly about the room. He looked confused. So far as Junpei could tell, the man was simply rambling and there were odd twitches to his movements. Experiment. Cradle Pharmaceutical. Those kidnapped kids.
So it is an organization.
Was I working that case? Well, undercover detective as well. Yep, Apex, looks like you called it. Seven continued to mumble to himself about things that meant nothing to Junpei. Junpei didn't have any answers for him, of course. He couldn't understand what was happening to Seven. All he could do was wait. After a few minutes, Seven finally stopped. He crouched down and looked under the bed. His face registered mild surprise, and he began to mumble to himself again. The hole's gone? No, maybe it was a different room. There's gotta be a ton of rooms on this boat that look just like this one. At last, Junpei could contain himself no longer.
Hey, what exactly do you remember? Well, maybe you could stop, talking like a crazy person. Tell me what's going on here.
Seven stood up slowly. Well, it's not like I really remember everything. I've only got bits and pieces, and they're scattered and don't make much sense.
I don't care. Tell me the bits and pieces then.
Junpei could feel it. Whatever Seven had remembered, it was important. Very important. Seven drew a large, muscled hand down across his face. As he wiped the sweat from his brow, he spoke. From what I can remember, I think I was a cop.
A cop?
Yeah. I was looking for that group of kids that got kidnapped 9 years ago. You remember that, right? Oh, fucking, of course it was 0. 9 years. It was all over the news.
Yeah. I was still in school. I don't remember all the details, but I do remember some of it.
Oh, never mind, there's 16 of them.
I think it was a bunch of kids right around my age. They all just disappeared. Nobody knew why. It was all over TV and the newspapers every day.
Change the title of the stream. Fucking 7 equals not 0. There you go, I did it. Yeah, that's what it looks like. And I guess I found something. There was this medical company called Cradle Pharmaceutical that had something to do with those kids. After I figured that out, I managed to get some information out of somebody who worked for them. They told me a ship would be leaving that night with all the kids on it. We're gonna be taken to some kind of big passenger ship out somewhere in the ocean. That's awesome. Seven's gonna fuck shit up. And so Seven had headed to the wharf. He kept to the shadows and before long found the suspicious ship he'd been looking for. There were a number of human shapes moving near the ship. They were men in black suits. Many of them were carrying large bags onto the ship. Bags. Something about the way they moved that they were carried. Be no mistake. They were human beings in those bags. He had moved before he even realized he was going to. Out of the shadows he came, his gun already in his hand. He heard the words "don't move," but they weren't his. Felt metal touch the back of his head. "Drop your gun," came the cold voice from behind him. With the words, he felt the cold metal thing behind him press against his skull. Slowly, Seven crouched down and laid his gun on the ground. Then suddenly, he felt a sharp pain in his neck. Haven't seen the title change show up on my end. You typically have to refresh the stream to actually see the title change show up. A needle. Was it some sort of drug? As he was thinking about that, Seven felt his face hit the cold concrete beneath him. Feel the chill of it seeping into him. Damn it. Shit, my head hurts. Seven woke to find himself lying on a hard floor. He twisted his neck to peer around the room. Where am I? Chatty usually updates title changes a minute or so after it actually happens. Wait, what's Chatty? There was a small, shabby bed and a dirty sink. Toilet with no stall or privacy of any sort. As a cop, it was a place Seven had seen all too often. I'm in a cell, huh? Opposite the toilet was a door set into the wall. Seven struggled to his feet and hobbled toward it. He gave the door a good shove, then another, then tried pulling it. It didn't open. Well, that was about what he'd expected. Java-based IRC program that connects to Twitch. Okay, fair enough. Yep, I've never heard of it. But I guess that makes sense. It wasn't likely that someone would put him in a cell only to leave it unlocked. He threw himself against the door a few times, but to no avail. I knew it. Seven grumbled to himself as he moved back toward the bed. He sat down. He sat there for a very long time. Just how long he wasn't sure. I've got to say, for bits and pieces, this is a pretty long memory. At last, he began to nod off and had nearly fallen asleep when he was roused by a distant voice.
There's over. It's 9.
The voice was far away. Very far away. Seven couldn't understand what it was saying. Nonetheless, it was a voice, and a high one, most likely a child. His eyes shot open.
Or haying.
As he listened, he could pick out several different distinct noises. There were at least 5 or 6, possibly more. Where were the voices coming from?
He looked around the room frantically. Perhaps the door? No, that wasn't it.
What? Oh?
Was it coming from the left? Was it coming from under the bed? He grabbed the bed and flipped it up with ease. There it was. There was a hole for ventilation in the wall where the bed had been, covered with a metal grate. Seven lay down on his stomach and peered through the grate. Couldn't see anything. It was too dark. Now that they'd found it, however, there could be no doubt. This was the source of the voices. For a moment, he was confused. Gotta say, yeah, no, Seven's fucking cool. Why were there children nearby? Then he remembered what the man from Cradle Pharmaceutical had told him. How a ship would take the kidnapped children from the wharf to a waiting passenger liner out in the ocean. Was Seven on that passenger liner? It didn't matter. What matters was that he had to find a way to the children. Seven looked at the metal grate. Could he fit through that hole? No fucking way. He stuck his fingers through the grate and grabbed hold of it.
Yeah, how do you like that, you son of a bitch?
The dark square sat open before him. Seven wiped the sweat from his forehead and crawled inside. Somehow, by some miracle. I just noticed, did he have a pedo stash? Junpei waited for Seven to resume his story. The longer he waited, however, the clearer it became that Seven had no intention of doing so. He'd gone silent and simply stared off into the air, his eyes blank.
Hey, what happened after that?
He'd waited long enough, but Seven shook his head.
I don't remember what happens after that. I think I found some kind of door out of the duct. And I think I found some kids too. Oh man. Why can't I remember what happened next?
Oh man. What happened to the kids, Seven? Did you save them?
I don't know. I don't know if it was me. I've got this feeling. I think one of the kids died. A girl, I think.
Huh?
Deep in his heart, Junpei felt something very cold. Seven's head dropped, and Junpei saw on it a look of sadness the likes of which he had never seen on the man before. The large man's eyes blinked rapidly, as if he were fighting back tears, and he swallowed hard. The sigh, or his sigh, was like the melancholy setting of an old abandoned building. He shook his head and spoke.
Anyway, just please don't ask me anymore, okay? I really don't remember anything else.
After that, Junpei could hardly try to force any answers out of the other man. There was nothing more he could do. Instead, Junpei turned his mind to trying to make sense of what Seven had told him. The children who had been kidnapped 9 years before. Apparently a company called Cradle Pharmaceutical had been behind the kidnappings and had taken the children to the ship they were on now. They'd been brought to the ship for an experiment. Something to do with controlling human beings, Seven had said. The 16 children who had been kidnapped were the subjects for the experiment. Seven had said 3 of their names were Aoi, Light, and Nona. That was the new information. He also learned that Seven was, or had been, a police officer. Still, there was little he could do with this new information. He learned nothing about the nunnery game or Zero. He had no idea why he'd been brought to that ship, or that he had been the site of those experiments 9 years before. I couldn't forget what Seven had said the purpose of the experiment had been. To control human beings. Could such an absurd experiment really have been conducted? Oh, totally. Fucking totally. 100% that's happened. Theory, the girl who died was Zero's relative, and each of the people on this boat was connected to her death. That's what the coffin is for. This is Zero's revenge plot, maybe. Yeah, I could agree with that. That seems pretty legit. Before long, Junpei realized that he had spent quite some time in deep thought.
No time for that, he shitted himself. He had work to do. Pi shook his head quickly to clear it and returned to his investigation, thoughts swirling in his mind. Okay, well, I have the tile now. The only other place I've seen use of a tile.
The tiles we found and the tiles here are the same size.
I touched the tiles on the door. I felt something weird.
Huh? I can move these tiles.
Then that means maybe if you swap the tiles we got with the tiles on the wall, something will happen.
I suppose now we just need to figure out what the strange designs on the wall, on these tiles mean.
Huh.
At any rate, we should look for all of the tiles that are the same size.
Yeah, alright.
You're right. Meet back here after we've done a thorough search.
Okay. Well, we have one of the tiles. But it looks blank is the thing that I'm a little concerned about. And we still have to do something with these. Wait. There isn't anywhere in the hallway where we could use this drawer, huh?
Well, if we were going to use it, I imagine we'd do so in a room somewhere. There are only so many places you can put a drawer after all.
Okay. What about down here? Wait. Shit. I'm not sure where we're supposed to go from here. Like, what I thought was we use the drawers for something, but if we need to get that last drawer, how can we get it out? What if I... Okay, that doesn't do anything. What can I do with this towel? Towel. These are for the old ladies. I feel like I've seen that design somewhere before. Maybe I'm just losing it. No, we've seen it. Just can't think of where to put it.
Looks like a chair for prisoners. Rusty, but I don't think it's going to be a lot of help.
Isn't that obvious? Look, I don't want to touch anything unless I have to.
Lotus is not having this. Do you really not want to be in this room that bad? Yes. Here? Drawing on the mirror looks just like the part of the design on that towel. The design on the towel was a river and a spring, huh? If the picture on this mirror is a spring and it's talking about the water in the sink. Yeah, we know that. We already got the tile out of there. What happens if... Looks like we should use the tiles here. But there are still rooms that haven't been checked yet. Back here once I've done that. Okay, so in which case there's going to be 3 tiles. We got the first one already.
That bed looks cold. Pretty sure you'd freeze to death in the winter.
No kidding. If I tried to sleep here, my skin would dry out in no time.
Well, it's not like you're that young anymore. That shouldn't really matter.
My Junpei. Aren't you lucky? It seems you'll die before you have any chance to grow old and hideous.
I'm sorry. You're right. Dry skin is a woman's worst enemy. This bed looked even sadder without the pillow.
So, it's still a terrible bed. I'd never sleep on a bed like that.
Can I check under the bed? Okay. I've used toilet paper. Well, it's all kind of grossing me out, but there's nothing suspicious about it. So this is what the moon symbol was pointing to, huh? They probably made it so that someone wouldn't trigger it by accident. That's the case. Oh. Toilet is vile. Unsurprisingly, Lotus refuses to go anywhere near it. So I can flush the toilets now, it looks like. The only thing you can manipulate in this room is that string. Chances are they made this puzzle so someone wouldn't trigger it by accident. Yep. Pie's gonna die due to pissing off Lotus. I'm pretty sure he already did die due to pissing off Lotus. I'm not 100% on that, but probably. Okay, let's go back to the third room. I think if we check the toilet in there. Looks like a dirty toilet, but it's too dark to tell. Fuck. Alright. It took a couple tries, but now I've got you, string.
Yes! Now I can pull on it. Huh?
No matter how many times we pull it, there's no flush.
I kinda feel like an idiot. I wasted a bunch of time because I was determined to flush a toilet.
Fuck me. Towel in the sink. Sink, but there's no light shining on it. Mirror's probably put here to reflect what's opposite from it. Okay. Wait, what about this? Door that doesn't open. What if this is part of the puzzle? Break the desk. Desk is old and rusty. Fuck. Did anything happen over here? No. Ceiling. I've seen a lot of ceilings in my time, but I'd say this one rates about a 3. 3.5. God damn it, game. Wait, what happens if I... This still doesn't work, right? Okay. Shoot. Where am I supposed to go from here? Is that 3.5 out of 5 or 10? Knowing Junpei, I'm gonna go with a 10. That would have to be my best guess. Whew, okay. Fuck, I don't... There's nothing else I can think of that we haven't done, right? I don't fucking know. Somebody help. Yeah, does anyone have any ideas? I honestly got fucking nothing. What about... Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, okay. There's a simple chair over there where the light doesn't shine. Not what I meant to do. Gotta say, we would be so dead by now. Wait, is there a... Sun was before the moon, so flush in order, maybe? Okay, that's a good point. Let's try that, I guess. I think you're right, Michael. Oh! I understand now. 1, 2, wait. Second pull. Third pull. Fourth pull. Yep.
Did you just hear something?
I did, but it doesn't look like anything's happened here.
Huh. I wonder what that sound was.
Yep. I understand. 1 second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. 6. And last one. There we go.
There's that sound again. It happens whenever I pull that string a couple of times.
Junpei, did you hear something from the other room?
The other room? You mean from the dark room?
Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, this is gonna be unlocked, isn't it? Yep. Well, this door opens easily enough. Fuck off. Tile. And another tile. They're all blank. There we go. That's thinking with not portals. Looks like we should use the tiles here. But there's still rooms that haven't been checked. What? 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 What kind of crack you on, video game? Does you have 0 viewers for me? Eh. I have no idea who the fuck's here anymore, so. I honestly can't keep track sometimes. Okay, what's the only room that I haven't gotten? Well, fuck you. Apex, I don't know when you decide to run away. It says 6? Alright, well, apparently it's 6 then. Alright. This is the only room we haven't got a tile from, right? Because if it's saying there's still other rooms that we need to check, then this has to be the room. Because this is the only room that we haven't gotten a tile from. Wait, I just realized something. Okay, can't do that. Under the bed. I can't click under the bed. Unfortunately. Only click the bed. Turn on the sink. This one? Oh, looks like turning the knob did the trick. Sink's filling up with water. No, not turning on the sink. Maybe line. Yeah, there's something I'm actually curious about right now. Okay.
So it's trying to show water flowing from the river and gathering in the spring.
What are you going on about? Maybe you ought to explain.
Forget about the puzzle we already solved. We need to look for new ones.
What? Something to do with the towel. It has to. Yeah, agreed. But I have no idea what it could be with the towel. Moon. was that noise? How many times did I pull this thing? Maybe I shouldn't pull it anymore. Good point. Try soaking up the water with the towel. Sink is totally filled with water. That unfortunately does nothing. What if I try and leave towel as a blanket? That did not work, okay. Toilet paper on the second moon toilet. Toilet paper? Okay. Oh, that's not what I meant to hit. Don't shine light on the hint anymore. We don't. That's the wrong door. Alright, toilet paper. I've used toilet paper. Well, it's old and it's kind of grossing me out, but there's nothing suspicious about it. I want to get food. Michael, it'll take us at least 5 minutes. Go and get food. What the fuck is this? Hey, Golden. It's me in a prison not knowing what the fuck is going on. How are you doing? Yeah, I got nothing. Maybe the sink? I want to die. Michael, not Michael, Joseph. No. Why am I saying Michael? No. Okay. What am I missing? Where to buy cone snail in prison? The fuck is a cone snail? Oh, cone snail poison. The fuck is cone snail poison? You look for the vent in 7-story? Okay, go get food. I think we checked all the beds, didn't we? Yeah, I can't click underneath any of them. I'm very tired. Apex, it's okay, buddy. We understand. Not what I wanted to click? Okay. Well, I didn't want to have to do this, but I think it's time. Oh, merciful Lord Jesus, if you have any knowledge to spare on this, please show me a guide of the way. Oh, merciful Messiah. No! Jesus has forsaken us, everybody. And here we rest for all eternity. Ah, shit. Well, then fuck, I honestly got nothing. What if you put the room 1 drawer in the room 2 and vice versa? Good point, Joseph. That's actually very clever. How do you take the drawer out of this desk? Put the drawer in. You haven't done anything. Fuck it. Put the towel in there. That doesn't do anything. Okay. It doesn't seem like that's working. Yeah, let's try this. Okay, that one worked. Sounded like something falling.
What was that?
I heard it too. Let's open the drawer.
Fucking hell. Well, what are we supposed to do with the drawer without a handle then, I guess? Fuck's sakes. Is this enough tiles? Ah. God damn it. God fucking damn it. Michael, I hope you're back here with food already. Because we need to proceed.
Okay. Well, it looks like we've investigated all the rooms.
Isn't it? No. We have a toilet. Okay, Michael, you just got back. Joseph just figured it out. And also, our pleas were ignored by Korean Jesus when asking for help. Oh, well then. I can understand that. He wants to see us figure this shit out.
The only mystery left is that door.
Alright, let's crack that mystery then.
We've got 4 tiles.
And there are a bunch of tiles that are the same size up on the wall here.
So if we replace 4 of the tiles on the wall with the one we've got, that should open the door.
The game took me weeks to finish. Okay, fair enough, Korean. Not Korean. Mr. Jesus. You God was a dick. That's God, though. This is Jesus. They're different people. But no, fucking, I know you're dedicated to this game. I'll give you that. Sons of bitch. Nah. Goal as a human is to become as godly as possible. There you go. Jesus said it. Listen to Jesus. Yeah, no, I can understand this game taking weeks to finish though. I could very much understand that. But still. I don't know. I'm a bitch who asks for help and looks at walkthroughs, although I have only looked at a walkthrough once. For the first puzzle. That's it. I gotta say though, 2 puzzles so far this run have stumped me. Last time we took our time and actually were figuring them out decently.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Go for it. Take those roids. Okay. That number problem where you added them together. I was in that room for 2 days. Oh god, really? Felt real as I've imagined so, Jesus. Was it just the numbers then, or was it something else that messed with you? Most common letter is E, so try replacing all of those. Okay. Emergency, what? Well, Joseph, right again. Using touch on items events. Oh, okay, I see. People who say they've taken roids don't have the balls to take roids. Well, no, of course not. Dude, taking roids gets rid of your balls. Contradicts itself. Son of a bitch, I'm Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein, sorry. Took roids, I would die. I have a heart problem. Yeah, don't do that, Apex. Don't do that. Don't die, please.
Hey, did you just hear something unlock? Does that mean we got it right?
Yes, it looks like we did. The 14 hidden on the tile.
I didn't even think anything of the number E.
Oh, goddamn.
I like the use of double Jesus there. But yeah, no, Jesus. There are a lot of sarcastic people here. Don't take anything seriously that we say. I debated DHEA, but then I decided to manipulate my body's hormones naturally. I'm curious what that entails.
If you convert that to hexadecimal, that's an E.
Basically, the E's in emergence are the 14s from the tiles. So if we replace it, that gives up the answer.
Do you really care why it worked? Let's just get out of here.
I was raped a cat. Okay. DHEA is a legal steroid in USA. I honestly didn't know that there were any legal steroids to begin with. Shit. Okay, understandable, but then why go about manipulating hormones naturally? Well, once again, curious as to what that entails and also the why behind it. I'm curious. Also, fucking golden grammar Nazi on the job. You got it, buddy.
Yes, let's go.
Joseph found it. To get fucking soul. What? Lotus looks creepy. Six-pack year-round, baby. Jesus Christ. Okay. Fair enough then, Jesus. Korean Jesus with a six-pack. Oh my god, Lotus looks creepy as fuck. I don't know. I think Lotus actually looks pretty nice when she's not angry and trying to kill us. We passed through the open door and headed to the next room. Google image search Korean Jesus. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's fucking do that. Fucking Korean Jesus. Korean Jesus, guys. That's the wrong thing. Okay, there we go. Look for that swole version result number 1. Oh god. To be fair, Joseph as well, I would rather have a six-pack of abs than a six-pack of beer. Although, to be honest, I don't really want a six-pack of abs either. I just want to not be fat. That would be nice. Don't make me put you in the learning chamber, Briseus. I'll make you learn French. No, anything but the French. Our nation already hates Quebec enough. They passed through the open door and headed to the next room. Junpei jogged down a short staircase and looked around. What the fuck?
What the hell is this place?
The words had sprung unbidden to his lips, but it was clear why. Junpei shivered. Lotus and Seven reached the bottom of the stairs and stopped short, terrified.
This room is really creepy.
I think we ought to get the hell out of here now. He jogged up the stairs on the opposite side of the room and shook the door on the wall next to the catwalk. It didn't open, and he muttered to himself. Figures.
It's locked, isn't it?
Yep. Don't know why I thought this one would be any different. Junpei looked around the room again. Kids in electric chairs. Okay, game. We have taken a dark turn. The center of it was a chair. Back of it was covered with electrodes connected to a nest of wires. Beneath it was a strange glass panel. Oh, hi, Joseph and Tyranno Joseph. I didn't know you were an animorph. You were an animorph. It's rated M. Is this game actually rated M? Because if it's actually rated M, I think that means I'm not supposed to play it, but at the same time, I don't actually know. Beneath it was a strange glass panel. Junpei wasn't sure what it was for, but it made him uncomfortable. Let's not golden and say we did. Whatever might have been beyond the glass, Junpei couldn't tell. It was too dark. Junpei turned to look at the right side of the room. There was a table covered with a piece of cloth. Parts of the cloth were stained with something that looked suspiciously like blood. Top of the table were a number of metal instruments. I didn't know what they were for, and he had the feeling he didn't want to find out. Mind began to imagine what could have been taking place in that dark, cold room. Things he imagined were not pleasant. Junpei shook his head in an attempt to clear it, and tried to focus on something else. Anyway, we don't want to stay in here any longer than we got to. Let's figure out the puzzle and get the hell out of here. Come on. Like strawberry. Yes, it's strawberry jelly, everybody. Don't be worried. Strawberry jelly, just relax. Where the killer got the murder weapon. Wait. You could kill someone with these, that's true. Fuck, who went through the two-door then last time? I don't know, fucking check the VOD, I guess. I can't remember who went through the two-door, but if Clover went through it, that would make sense as to why we think she's killer. There are a number of ominous-looking tools and instruments here. Well, let's see. We got an adze, and a hammer. A pair of forceps, and these other things are too old and broken. I have no idea what they are. Hey, doesn't this wretch look all too new to be stuff here, all this other stuff?
Yes, it does. I didn't notice it before you mentioned it, but it's not rusty at all.
Clover Lotus 7. Well, fuck it, it's Clover then. Clover killed Junpei edition. That'll be tomorrow night. Your team was Ace, June, and 7. Or was it? Yeah, we did have Ace with us. Didn't we have Santa, June, and Ace is who we had with us. So I think that left Clover, Lotus, and 7. I think that's how it worked out. I will take that wrench. Wait, fuck, I'm in Santa. All good. All good. All good. Fuck is this? Cover's bolted on there pretty good. Be able to get those bolts off with this wrench just that we found though. That was unintentional.
Sweet, it's open.
Couldn't be Lotus since she died. No, I'm not saying Lotus was the killer, but Lotus was in the room with Clover when Clover found the murder weapon. Yeah. I'm just saying Lotus was in the room.
The hole's too small. You can't see in, even with the cover off.
Well, you can't see in, but I think there's enough room to stick your arm in.
Are you sure you want to do that? There could be something dangerous in there.
Okay, I admit, that scares me a little, but we need to see if there's anything useful in there. Alright, here we go. Arm into the hole. Hey, I think I can feel something. Small, cold, and hard. Feel like there's anything else in here. Alright, let's see what this thing is. A key! I found the sun key hidden inside the tank. Okay, well that's good. We got the sun key, but we can't actually get out.
These levers have got to turn something on.
Of course they would. All they can do is turn something on or off. What's important is what they turn on or off.
Don't say the floor is going to suddenly open up.
There are a bunch of buttons here with the letters A through F on them.
Wonder if they do anything.
Down you go.
So if I press it again,
Back you come.
I guess these buttons switch something on and or off when you push them.
Okay. Chair. Hey, Grumpy. How's it going, man? Clover's next. She is all of those things. Clover, what the fuck? Just straight up, what the fuck, Clover?
The sun key should fit into the keyhole on these manacles.
We are not strapping somebody into this chair. Alright, Sun Key, and you go. And yes.
Great, they're opened. I don't think we're gonna find the sun key again in here though. Or we're gonna need the sun key in here again though. This seems unlikely.
Alright, Sun Key, you've done your job. Into my pocket with you. Not bad, struggling through Overwatch competitive at the moment. Dear God, you poor bastard. Good luck with competitive. Well, they're open. What are you gonna do now?
Let's just look around some more. I got a feeling that something will happen.
Right. We should try and figure out what the device over there in the corner is for, at any rate.
There's something on the screen.
This device will conduct the experiment. Once the experiment has been completed, the door will unlock. First, adjust the switches to match the blocks in the sample above. Aw, I don't know what this thing is, but we gotta figure out this puzzle.
It's right next to a torture chair. Whatever it is, I don't think it's good.
Anyway, we just adjust the switches to match the blocks up on top, right?
Adjust the switches down at the four corners of the screen. Then press the check button. Junpei, we don't know what this thing does. You can always come back to it later. There are lots of other things you could do.
Yeah, let's check this later. Whenever you turn one of these switches, more blocks show up on the screen. So I think you gotta figure out which buttons you have to press in order to get the screen to match the diagram.
Yeah, but it's hard to figure out what that button does what.
Want to see how many blocks each switch has? Just turn on one switch. When all of them are off, there aren't any blocks, right? Then you can see how many each switch adds.
Oh yeah, I get it.
Clover needs to calm the actual fuck down and think about the philosophical meaning behind her existence. I think she needs to just stop freaking out that her brother's dead. There's a whole lot of cables coming out of that thing. Really kind of a mess. Barely tell which is which. Fair enough. Exists solely for the continuation of our species, so all our purposes are reproduction. Fuck that.
Hey! This pipe is connected to that thing over in the corner.
I imagine there are electrical wires running through that pipe to the device.
There are a bunch of pipes up near the ceiling. I don't think there's going to be a puzzle up there. Hashtag Snake was a dick anyway. No. Sucks for World of Warcraft nerds ripped in 2016. Joseph, no, I'm a World of Warcraft nerd, except I haven't actually played that game in ages. We can't even reach them. I fucked up something up. Okay. Look at it from here. The catwalk looks pretty high up.
That makes the stairs seem pretty steep. We'd better be careful going up and down them.
Okay, go up the stairs. There are rusty stairs that led to the door we came through. What? You want to go back, Junpei?
I wish solving this puzzle were that easy.
He was best mood Kip.
The L-shaped pipe on the straight one are both connected to this tank thing.
They're pretty big pipes, but that tank is even bigger. What the fuck? Vega man, something, something, take me by the hand, stop, lead me to the spam that you understand. Vega man, the voyage to the top of the world deck is a real trip, something, wave, Vega man, wave. Love, the crust of a Romanian man, something fueled by the band. Thumbs up, soaking up the tears or rain, salt in the spam. What the fuck is that, Joseph? Oh, this is vegan. I read it as vegan. Fuck's wrong with me? Light switch. There's nothing suspicious about these lights. They're a little blurry from the dust, but that's about it. It's Ween Ocean Man song. Never heard of that either. What's wrong, Junpei? What are you doing on the floor?
Well, I thought maybe if we got down here I could see through the glass. It's not working though.
You don't think it's just a large sheet of glass they put into an indentation?
I don't know. I mean, why would they do that? And the placement of the chair.
You're not making sense, Junpei. What's your point?
Well, I'm not sure, but don't you think there's something under the glass?
Song came out in 1996. Yeah. Fucking, I have no idea. I know nothing about older music. I'm terrible with that. All about that fucking new age stuff that is like now. For borrowing that CD. Damn. Well, I mean, to be fair, Jesus, you are timeless and have been around forever, so. Yeah. Nah, fuck. Fuck. 1997. I would have been 2 years old then. Damn. Voyage to the corner of the globe is worth. No idea.
Maybe the glass is one way, like they have in a police station, you know? Or maybe it's just covered with something that makes it opaque.
Eh, doesn't matter how close I get. I still can't see anything. Echoes when I knock on it, though. Or if it's hollow. Yeah, I was in middle school. Okay, fair enough. Understandable then, Jesus. What's this? I can't click it. Well, I guess let's figure this shit out. Just switches the max blocks on top and press the check button. Alright. Joseph, I want to sing along with that to you, but I can't remember the rest of it. Huh. That was easy. Well, somebody's gonna die now. Adjustment is completed. Now proceeding to execution phase. Jesus Christ, don't kill anybody. Complete the experiment. Data must be collected from subject. Preparation is finished. Place subject in chair. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I thought we solved the puzzle already. What does it mean by preparation?
I don't know. I've got a bad feeling about this.
I think this means one of us has gotta sit in the chair.
Well, 7's never going to fit in that thing. Either you or me, Junpei. Collecting data. I wonder if it's going to run electricity through the subject.
There's a human head on the screen. Maybe it's gonna zap the brain with a little electricity.
This really doesn't sound safe.
Anyway, we've still got to prepare. Talk about this after we figured out what it means by preparation, alright?
Well, it wants us to prepare, so maybe we'd ought to ask it what we need to do. Rip Lotus. No, dude, I'd sit in that chair myself. I'm the main character. I have a way lower chance of death than her. Just Google Potter Puppet Pals if you don't know them. I know exactly what you're talking about, man. I just don't remember the song. It's been way too long since I've listened to that. Number of our choose torture tools, they're lined up here. I don't think there's anything else here that we need. Nope. We got the sun key, so I guess something over here. There are a ton of knobs here. Doesn't seem like any of them do anything, though.
You think it's broken?
Red, yellow, the colors mean something.
No idea. I mean, red looks more dangerous, but other than that... Bottom of this one looks like it's covered in rust. I think it'll move at all. Even Lotus already died, so... Okay, we both died, that's true. But, here's the thing. I'm still main character. I have a lower chance of death than just killing off Lotus. And also, hey, if we die here, we can just skip back to it and be like, Lotus, in the chair. In the chair with you, Lotus. Why would Zero kill people? Yeah, exactly. Fucking gave us an option. We already know that. We already know that by the fact that we know there's 2 number 9 doors, so... I could not say. Like Apex was saying earlier, if he was involved with that whole incident 9 years ago and something happened to one of Zero's, like, relatives or some shit, it'd be something like that. I don't think peer pressure was the case. Needle on the gauge is at 0. Doesn't look like it's going to move. Oh, the dials are pointing in different directions.
Maybe something will happen if we turn them. Ah! Shoot. They're all rusted. I guess turning them really doesn't do anything.
See some oil or something down there at the base of the lever. I feel like it's got movement to it. I should be able to pull this one.
Alright, let's pull the lever.
Is that water? What the hell? What's going on?
You calm down. Just water going somewhere.
It sounds like it's underneath us.
Honorary is synonymous with fun. This is the fun game. What? If Junpei didn't go back to save June, he wouldn't have died. What, you mean at the end? I think he got stabbed before he could turn around, I'm pretty sure. One of the puzzles force of death. Death is due to failure at the dead or betrayal. Yeah. The game itself hasn't killed. I don't think that Zero is, like, necessarily the one killing us, but at the same time, I'm not sure because he also did leave us guns. Zero wouldn't have left us guns and weapons if he didn't want us killing each other. So I think the option for killing is there, but he's not saying you need to kill.
That means the floor. Oh. Junpei, look.
What's she? Oh, damn. I can see through the glass now. Oh, shit. Is that a body? A couple of letters in the color of blood written on the shark's belly. Oh, okay, it's a shark. It's dead. Looks like the letters are E, D, B, and F. Whatever these are here for, this has to be here in this room somewhere. Okay. E, D, B, F. Zero's testing us, killing us is not necessary. Could not had to. Yeah. But he's still leaving us weapons is the thing. Yeah, he's not directly killing us, we're killing each other.
What?
There's a strange noise coming from the chair. It looks like it's been turned on. I guess the puzzle here was that the power had to be sent in a specific way.
Well, time to die. I don't think examining the chair is going to cause that machine to do anything. Probably take a look at the monitor instead. Good point. The restraining device is unlocked. Please seat subject and device. Message on the screen was disturbingly detached.
Well, like we thought, it's not gonna work unless someone sits in it.
How ironic that this would be the situation in which this slim, beautiful body is useful.
Lotus, are you sure? I can sit in it and solve.
Junpei's right. screw it up.
Seven couldn't bring himself to finish the thought. His eyes fell to the floor. Junpei followed them. Beneath him was the dead shark floating underneath the glass. Perhaps it had been killed by an electric shock. I'll be fine. Even if I fall in, the shark is already dead.
But
No one likes an indecisive man, Junpei. I can still give you advice from the chair, too. I just don't want to stay in this room any longer than we have to. Go over to that screen and let's get this over with. After her words had made it clear that Lotus would book no argument, she turned and walked toward the chair without hesitation.
Holy shit, Lotus. Guys. I think we're mistrusting the wrong character. This bitch is literally just trusting us with her life. Lotus, mad respect, woman. But she did not sit down. Despite what she had said, she did indeed feel hesitation. Her legs shook.
Look, do you think you could do me one last favor?
don't say last.
You're making me nervous.
Just listen. If something happens to me, I want you to tell my daughters that I love them very much. No. Tell them that I will always love them.
Daughters?
You've got kids.
Yes, I do. I suppose they're about your age, Junpei. They're twins. I had them when I was young, after some things happened. Their names are Nona and...
Wait.
Wait, Nona.
Junpei's words shot out before he even realized what he was saying. He remembered the story Seven had told him. Aoi, Light, and Nona. Those were their names. Well, some of them. The kids that were there, in the experiment, I mean.
What the hell? What's wrong with you?
Lotus took a step back from Junpei. Seven looked just as shocked as Junpei. He blinked his eyes rapidly as if he weren't even sure he was completely awake. No way. Couldn't. Lotus, is your last name Kashiwabara? Lotus's eyes went wide.
How do you know that?
Are you serious? What the hell is this? There's no way you're that kid's mom.
That kid? What do you mean, that kid? Why are you acting like you've met her?
Seven's brow furrowed. I have.
What?
Yeah, I met one of your kids
When?
9 years ago
Where?
on this ship.
Why were you?
Not a short story.
I don't care how long it is. Tell me, please. What happened here?
Seven glanced at Junpei, then turned back to Lotus and began to speak. It was the same story Junpei had heard only minutes before. Every detail. At last, Seven finished. Lotus shook her head.
Oh, my god. Everything I've been looking for the last 9 years. The person who had all the answers was right here.
Looking for?
Yes, that's right. 9 years ago, my daughters disappeared. Then, 9 days later, they came back. They never told me what had happened to them over those 9 days. I took them to the doctor, but I was told they hadn't been hurt in any way. Still, I was sure they had been through something terrible. So I couldn't bring myself to force them to talk about it. If I did, I'd force them to relive whatever horrors they'd been through. I didn't have any choice. I had to try and ignore it and move on.
Ugh.
A few months passed. Gradually, they started to act like they had always had, before they disappeared. They smiled and made jokes and did all the silly things. It got harder and harder for me to ask them about what had happened. How could I ask them to remember that? Eventually, I knew there was no way I could do it.
Uh,
But I'm still a mother. Couldn't simply forget that something terrible had happened to my children. So I decided I would investigate what had happened on my... I would find out what had happened during those 9 missing days.
what did you find out?
Nothing. The police pretended to be concerned, but they didn't do anything. Once the 16 children who had gone missing came back, things were just swept under the rug. Even the media didn't talk about what had happened. I figured someone was probably paying or threatening them to keep their mouths shut.
Cradle Pharmaceutical. No, probably something even bigger than that.
Cradle Pharmaceutical.
Have you heard of them before?
No. First time I've ever heard that name. 7. How did you find out that Cradle Pharmaceutical was connected to the kidnappings in the first place?
I figured finding out whatever the victims had in common would lead me to the culprit. That's what any good cop does.
What did they have in common?
Every single one of the kids who had disappeared had gone to this one hospital at some point. The hospital was one of the bunch that were under the control of Cradle Pharmaceutical. After that, it was just about connecting the dots.
The hospital.
The hospital.
For a while, I was trying to get some kind of story out of the kids at the hospital. One of them told a weird story.
What was it?
Have you heard about the Gansfield experiment? Yes, actually, we have. Lotus was telling us about that in the last life, wasn't she? I guess all these kids had to go through it while they were at the hospital. I think it was passed off as some sort of counseling. Lotus Ace Detective. Okay. Appropriate. First subjects Q and A are put into separate rooms far away from one another. Then a series of video images are shown to subject Q, who is told to send the images to subject A by thinking about them. Subject A, on the other hand, is put in a large reclining chair and given a blindfold. Their senses cut off, A is asked to guess what images Q is looking at.
Oh yes, I've heard of that. Famous telepathy experiment.
Telepathy. Telepathy. I rolled the word over his mind.
That's how the experiment on this ship was supposed to work.
The experiment to control people, right?
Yeah. I don't know if any of the telepathy stuff really exists. But maybe someone from Cradle Pharmaceutical bought into it.
Lotus grunted. Seven had been thinking hard for the last several minutes and finally spoke. I need to cough. And water. Whew! Okay, that's better. Even if that is the case, I still don't get how that has anything to do with any of this. The nonary game, Zero, why we were kidnapped. What does any of that have to do with telepathy? I know I brought all this up, but I have no idea. Maybe none of this stuff is connected after all. Ah. Then, in that moment of silence, a cold voice echoed down from the ceiling. No subject has been detected. Unless a subject is detected within 60 seconds, all power will be shut down. System recovery is estimated to take 1 hour. If you wish to proceed with the experiment, please seat subject in the restraining device. Whoa, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going.
Oh no, that's not what we...
Just hurry up and get it over with. Junpei, I'm counting on you.
Right. Holy shit, maybe Santa's sister did die. That makes sense. But yeah, we don't know how Clover fucking Ace and June and Junpei and Ninth are connected. That's true. But still, I'm sure we'll figure that out. Lotus sat down on the chair. Pai looked at her one last time, then made his way to the monitor.
Lotus, please tell me right away if you feel anything weird.
Don't worry too much. Now get on with it and be a man, or June's going to leave you.
Lotus was putting on the best act she could manage, but her legs were shaking so much that if she hadn't been sitting, she likely would have fallen down. Failure was not acceptable. Pai took one last deep breath and stared at the monitor. Wait, what? Okay. Okay, fuck you, Jesus. I haven't played this game. Jesus. Apex, it's okay. It's okay. We will learn. We will learn what this all is. Wait, I wonder something. Are you gonna do all three in a row? Wait, all three. Just a theory. We know it's just a theory, Apex. We know you haven't played this game and you're not good. We know. It's all good. What do you mean by all three Korean? Are there sequels to this game? $9.99 Virgin Plus reward. Oh. Well, I probably won't do all three in a row, just because, to be honest, I played a lot of games where I'm doing the voices for lately, and kind of want to break from that. So, not going to be all three in a row, but I'll probably get to the other two games in the series. That sounds pretty cool. This one good? This looks right, I think. Alright, I'll catch you tomorrow. Alrighty, have a good night, Jerkarine. I'll see you around, man. Alright, looks like we did this.
Experiment has concluded. The door will now unlock.
I can hear the door unlocking. And now we've got a new message.
Subject from restraining device.
Lotus, are you alright?
I'm glad nothing bad happened, but I do think my life just got a little shorter.
Hold on, I'll get you out right away.
Shouldn't take long for Seven and me to get her out of here.
Let's get out of here now. Being a guinea pig is not for me.
Damn straight. I never want to see this thing again. We're gonna see it again at least once. Okay, sorry, I'm prone to violent outbursts on occasion. Oh. Guys. I'm glad to see you make up. Because everybody here is chill. Let's get the fuck out of this room, shall we? Outside of the room, a hallway led off to their left. Sneaks into the torture room. Fuck you, Bryce, you fucking walnut. Apex, for like the third time, I've told you. Name the time and place, and I'll come and fuck you. Jesus. Or I guess in this case you wanted to fuck me, so I guess that works. But I need a time and place, man. Outside of the room, a hallway led off to their left. With nowhere else to go, they stared down it. They turned left twice before they saw the elevator. In silence, they jogged up to it. Junpei pushed the C button. The elevator motor ground away, and before long they found themselves once again on C deck. The door opened, and they stepped off. They expected to find 4 other people waiting for them. There were none. Where did they go?
I have no idea.
Lotus shrugged. Something in the pit of Junpei's stomach stirred. He tried to forget the feeling and took off down the long hallway before him. Seven and Lotus followed at a run. They ran and ran and ran. And ran so far away. The hallway seemed endless. Their destination had already been decided. The door behind the central staircase. There was a sun symbol engraved on the keyhole of that door. Junpei had the sun key in his pocket. That key would open the door. Had to. That was why they ran for the central staircase. Why I come to these streams, Bryce is super fucking chill.
Oh, thanks, Apex. I try to be. But it's mostly the heroin.
I'm kidding, don't do drugs, kids. They had run for quite some time when they arrived at the door that ended the hallway. Junpei stopped. He laid his hand on the doorknob, his breathing heavy. Seven laid a hand on his arm. Hold on a sec there.
Huh?
We don't have the key for this one yet, right? There's a Jupiter symbol engraved over the keyhole. Seven was right. They had no Jupiter key. Isn't heroin a stimulant, not a depressant? I have no idea. I just make a lot of jokes about drugs that I probably should never say in my life.
Oh boy.
And we can't open this door.
Unfortunately. No, we can't.
Jeez. The sun door's gotta be just on the other side of this, you know?
Frustrated, he twisted the doorknob. The door opened.
Hey! It opened!
What?
The others must have found the Jupiter key.
Well, what are we waiting for?
As he spoke, he shoved the door the rest of the way open. They rushed through and stopped cold. The terrible scene before them made their blood run cold.
June! June! June!
3 people lay dead on the floor, covered in blood. Junpei felt a cold sweat trickle down his spine. He couldn't breathe. His legs shook. His body felt cold, deathly cold. But his blood was boiling hot. He could feel his mind begin to fade. He couldn't think, he couldn't concentrate. His mind was blank.
What the hell? What the hell happened?
Seven's voice was weak and broken. He edged toward the bodies, his movements stiff. He bent down over Clover and pressed his fingers to her wrist.
Nothing.
She's dead. Suddenly, Lotus moved. Before he understood what was happening, her hand was in Junpei's vest pocket.
Hey, what are you doing?
He leapt back. Lotus looked up at him, terrified.
The key. Give me the sun key.
Why?
Why do you think? We have to get out of here before the murderer comes back.
Murderer. The murderer! Once again, Junpei looked at the dead bodies. Santa, Clover, and Ace. That meant that the person who had killed them was... No. No, it couldn't be true. Before Junpei could react, Lotus dove back into his pocket and came out with the key. Let's go. Without waiting for Seven or Junpei, she ran straight for the central staircase. They followed. Junpei shut his eyes and swallowed his emotions. Morning would have to wait. Soon they stood in front of the door. Lotus shoved the sun key into the keyhole and twisted it hard. But... Why?
What happened?
Nothing. Nothing happened. I didn't feel it unlock.
Oh no. Is it the wrong key?
I don't know. Maybe.
Lotus sighed, defeated, and leaned against the doorknob. She felt it twist. A small gap appeared at the door in the frame.
What in the hell is this?
I mean, the door was already unlocked.
Why?
How would I know that? Whatever. Let's just go.
Lotus took a deep breath and slowly opened the door the rest of the way. Fucking hell, June. They stepped inside. In front of them was another hallway. It stretched out toward the bow of the ship. They began to run. Faster and faster they ran, trying desperately to reach the end of the hallway. A few seconds later, they were there. In front of them stood a massive metal door. They were all breathing heavily as Junpei spoke.
What the hell is this door? I can't see anything that looks like a doorknob or switch or lever or card reader or anything. How the fuck are we supposed to open this?
We don't have a choice. We're gonna have to go back.
No, no. I'm not going back there. There's a murderer back there.
There was more stark terror in Lotus' voice than authority. She was almost begging.
But I don't see any other doors.
As he spoke, Seven stepped toward the door in front of them as if to illustrate that this was the only door.
What?
It opened. Nothing surprising, a simple automatic door. Look, guys, I got a real bad feeling about all this. The other doors were already unlocked, and this one's automatic. We haven't seen anything like this before. How could their situation possibly get worse? 3 people were already dead. They'd hit the bottom, Junpei told himself. There was nowhere to go but up. He stepped through the door. And whatever hope Junpei had managed to summon disappeared. No. No, 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 no. It wasn't true. It couldn't be true. It was impossible. Utterly impossible. It was a dream. It had to be a dream. A nightmare. Yes, it was a nightmare, and if he could just wake up, he was seeing things. Yes, that was it. This was a hallucination. A lie. It wasn't real. It wasn't real. It wasn't real. Right? June. No, no, the code names meant nothing now. Canny. Canny!
Kenny!
What the What? What? Junpei cried out and leapt through the door. He flew to her side, his heart like a stone in his chest.
Kenny! Kenny! Hang on!
Junpei swept her up and shook her by the shoulder. She moaned and her eyes fluttered open, but only barely.
Kenny!
Jumpy?
Her face was pale and her lips were dry and cracked. Her eyes were blank and cloudy. They stared straight at Junpei, but saw nothing. Junpei put his hand against the small of her back and to hold her up. Felt warm and wet. He lifted his hand up. It was covered in blood.
Oh man, Kenny! What the hell happened to you? How did this happen?
It was all he could do to not break into tears.
Jumpy. I'm sorry.
Her voice was thin, a minuscule thread that was the only thing keeping her with him.
I I might not make it.
No way. No way am I gonna let you die. I'm gonna save you. I promise.
Thank you, Jumpy. Thank you so much for everything. I was really happy to see you again, Jumpy. Really happy.
Don't give me that I was crap. You're gonna see me again lots more times. You've just gotta hang on, alright, Canny? You,
What could he do? He looked up from Canny, just desperate for something, anything. Then he saw it. A small submarine. A submarine? What on earth was a submarine doing here? No, that didn't matter. Nothing mattered except saving Canny. That was the only thing he wanted. Junpei turned his head back to look down at her.
hang on, alright? There's a submarine over there. I'm gonna go see if it works.
No. No. Don't. Oh. Please. Don't go. Please. Just stay with me. Okay? I want to be close to you, Jumpy. When I...
Canny,
Jumpy, did you know? You meant a lot to me. For kids. I've liked you for a long time, Jumpy. Junpei. A really long time.
Junpei's vision had gone blurry. It took him a moment to realize his eyes were filled with tears. He could feel a piercing point of heat deep in his heart, like a white-hot flame.
Jumpy, remember how we hung out a lot when we were kids? We went to the pool and to the fair. You remember playing snowball at the school? They're all memories I'll never forget. All of those small are treasures. But I also want to go to a lot of other places with a lot more. But that won't happen.
no, I mean, yes, it will happen. We'll go all sorts of places, Canny. You hear me? I promise, we'll go wherever you want.
Really,
Yeah, really, I swear.
that makes me happy. Really happy.
She said it to herself over and over, a weak smile creasing her tired face.
Jumpy, I feel sleepy.
No, Canny, don't fall asleep.
Thank you. Jumpy. Thank you so much.
Her eyes were slowly closing. I screamed even as he felt his throat go hoarse.
Canny! Canny! Canny!
Time passed. Junpei wept, rolled around Candy's body, cried and cried until he had no tears left. When the last tear fell, Junpei was no more. Body remained, but only as an empty shell. Somewhere, he heard a bell ring. It was the clock at the central staircase.
It rang 5 times, then faded.
5 o'clock.
Quietly, gently, softly, he set Canny down on the floor. Slowly, Junpei stood. Only then did he realize that Seven and Lotus had not followed him. Where had they gone? Slowly, he looked around the room. There was nothing. No sign that they had ever been there. Felt as though every part of Junpei's body was made of lead. Slowly, he made his way to the door he'd come through. As he approached it, it opened, sliding apart with a sound like grinding stone. Junpei passed through the gate and into the hallway. His heart rattled in his chest, an empty, lifeless thing. It had been so utterly broken that there was nothing left to feel. When he saw their bodies, he simply stared. It was a lake, a sea of blood. 2 bodies lay in it. There was no need to check. There was no breath left in them. His eyes lit on Lotus's wrist. Her bracelet was gone. He stared. It meant nothing to him. He didn't care anymore. Couldn't care anymore. His body felt numb. Part of him knew the lump of lead in his chest had once been a heart. Couldn't quite remember what it had been for. Tears poured from his eyes in great streams. He wasn't sure why. He gave up trying to make them stop. He turned around. The door opened again, and slowly, numbly, he walked through. He kept walking. Why stop? Objects set in motion. Simple inertia carried him forward. Eventually, he found himself in front of the submarine. His arm reached for the hatch. And then he was floating in water. His eyes stared down into it. He couldn't see the bottom. His back was hot. Dimly, he felt the blade of a knife in it. Who? One dead body lay behind door number 5. The body of the 9th man. Another lay in the shower room. The body of Snake. At the central staircase were 3 more. Ace, Santa, and Clover. Just outside the door were 2 corpses. Those of Seven and Lotus. And in this very room lay the body that had once been Canny. And now Junpei would join them. Who then had killed them all? Who? Junpei let out one last breath. Faintly, he felt the bubbles creep up the side of his face. His conscience faded quickly, dissolving away into the cold, until lapping of the water. The end.
Or is it? Well, we're saving that, but I gotta say, how is it that I got both the endings where everybody dies? The first two runs through. God damn. Just said bad ending. Yeah, on the knife one, I'm pretty sure that's all it did. Whew. But yeah, no, I don't think there were credits for the knife at least. I'm not sure, but I think so. Well, god damn. You need to live for next round. I hope to God I can live on round 3. I really do. But as for now, I think that's where we're going to call it for the night. So, thank you very much to everyone for hanging out. I hope you had a fun time. I hope you're not too broken inside. And yeah, I guess if this is anything, tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, guys. Like, even if go wake them up, even if you need to. Maybe don't wake them up. They might be pissed off at you, but in the morning when you wake up, make sure that you fucking tell them. That'll probably mean a lot to them. When, as we've just seen, how very fleeting life can be. Alrighty. Till next time. Bye.